Greetings, fellow Sierra Leonean, and welcome to another edition of the Critical Thinking Talk Show. Or should I rephrase it again and say greetings, fellow Sierra Leonean and viewers beyond the Sierra Leone community. Welcome to another edition of the Critical Thinking Talk Show. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi. I will pause here for now and send notification and bring we guests in immediately. Honorable Dr. Richard Conteh. And I will thank you for your time and I all welcome. Yes, Honorable, I see you there. Thank you and welcome. I will send notification and then I will bring you in immediately, sir. Welcome. In the meantime, also, if anyone gets question for Honorable later, the number 908-342-8176. The calling number again at 908-342-8176. I will welcome. Feel free for share and also send notification to others. All welcome. I just send notification for and I always just log in and I will bring back immediately shortly after. In the meantime, while I send notification, now put in a small entertainment for now.
She found this.
Now all welcome. Just when they send notification, I will bring in Dr. now. Okay. So, Mr. Perspective, thank you, sir, and welcome. Kindly tell Doc say they try from bring her on, but they say no answer. So maybe it might be the way how the device is set up. So if you can kindly give her a call for me, please, yeah, and walk on through. Thank you so much, and I'll welcome. And I'll feel free for share and invite others. I will bring back shortly. You can also advise some for me for please um for now, it go send request, yeah, in case I know it will go through. In case send the request, then I confirm for me or him. And I all welcome. Thank you for that time. Mr. Koma, we're happy for get you on board as well. Welcome. Mr. Maximus, welcome. Thank you so much, Miss Blue, Mr. Blue. Thank you. Now welcome. Just believe me. Mr. Kanu, thank you for your kind words. Thank you. Receive it with humility. Thanks. Now welcome, yeah. We'll just wait for that and then we'll go start the interview. It's the perspective. If you can kindly call for me. Okay, I don't see it. Okay. I know so you can watch me, other people watch me. If I'm in a canon, I love blind. You know more patience waiting up for pass me. Mr. Perspective, kindly tell Daxi I'm not able to answer. Say I don't get the request that it's right for approval, but they go through. So what I do is that I don't put no send them back for me, yeah? Tell us I'm not able to respond at the moment. This love na everyday something. Not only on February 14th, I not come out for nothing. Can I make sure you what it comes? I want to also take this opportunity for congratulate one of we talented musician where my music had play Mahmoud on a new arrival in Firstborn in a wife. Thank you, Mr. Fofana. Thank you so much. Come smile for me, now you wonder. Cause I search all over the world, you're just no one like you. I've been around, oh mama, Mr. Perspective, kindly tell back again for me. Say, do you never send the request, yeah? Okay, Miss Catherine, all welcome. Trying to, but the icon is not showing. Okay, maybe power off again. Yes, it need to show that either. So you can power off the phone, dark, and then put them back on and try them, yeah? And then send me the request. Power off the device and then come back on, or leave the live and then come back onto the live. And I'll welcome. Look at it, come on now. And now thank you for the patience. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Finally, eh? Welcome back to the Critical Thinking Talk Show.
Yes,
I want to take this opportunity for extend sincere thanks and appreciation on behalf of the entire team and myself for where you take time off your busy schedule for making possible. So thank you once again and welcome.
Mine.
Wonderful. And I also want to give you this opportunity for now you introduce yourself to the world for the very few who are not going to know you.
Mina Richard Conteh, former Chief of Staff, Office of the President, Sierra Leone.
Wonderful. Welcome again. How you going to describe yourself from your perspective? How you going to describe yourself?
I would describe myself as a very simple, plain, and straightforward person.
Wonderful. How you believe, say, your friends and family would describe you?
Things that I'm going to describe as a very caring and benevolent person.
Wonderful. So you happen to be some of the few where get the opportunity or fortunate enough to hold several prestige positions then at the Republic of Sierra Leone. Make we talk a little bit about those positions. I want to start first with you being the former Minister of Trade and Industry. What that was like and your experience in that capacity?
I think in me close to 7 years where I serve in government, I get my best time in government when I've been Minister of Trade for 2 years. It was a very lovely experience. I've been here for deal with very challenging issues were very close to my heart, and I really enjoy what I do. And in fact, I can always tell people and say, if I've been get any regret whatsoever in politics, that way I've been accept for make a move from Ministry of Trade to State House. I think I before don't stay at the Ministry of Trade, and I don't feel more fulfilled like today if I've been do so.
So it sounds like during challenging time, now that time that you able for execute you position even to the very best of your ability from what they receive from you, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I'm where they face challenges. I like for confront challenges. I know they give up easily, and I can always do my best for prove the odds they're wrong.
Wonderful. So what's going to be the experience in terms of the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development?
Well, finance will be a learning ground for me. Before I be Deputy Minister of Finance, responsible for economic development, and not being really, don't ever work for government, apart from being a teacher and a lecturer. I not ever work inside government. I don't know how government they function. So that'd be a learning opportunity for me, and that it happened in the Ministry of Finance, where now the melting pot for the entire governance machinery. I think it'll be a good opportunity I've been get for really understand the workings of government. And I think the 3 years where I spent at that ministry, they really help for expose me to the development world, for expose me to the finance issues that the country, and for expose me to the overall governance issues and procedures and how things are supposed to happen inside government. I think that experience now help for prepare me for my later life as Minister of Trade and eventually as Chief of Staff.
Okay. So what's the area that your very first experience in terms of governance or official
Working directly for
government?
government outside teaching.
Okay, wonderful. So now we go now to the, I guess I will call on the $1 million question. You experienced as chief of staff. What thing that was like? What thing be your responsibility in that capacity?
Well, as Chief of Staff, your responsibility now for ensure say anything where the president want to happen. You know, like the program director, if now in an NGO setting or in a company setting, you know, like the chief operating officer in the company. Now you get for make sure say all the different departments, ministries and agencies, they do their work, they do in time, and that waiting the president want for happen, it really happen, and it happen how it want them and on time. So that if the president succeed to a great extent, you get a hand for the play in that. And if it not succeed, you also get for share responsibility for that. So in a very key office where they coordinate all the activities of all the ministries, they coordinate the interface with the other arms of government, and they ensure, say, the machinery of government function unhindered.
Wonderful. So many will be curious as to what was that working relationship like with then President, His Excellency Dr. Ines Baikorma, how you could describe her as an individual and as you former boss or the former head of state as a whole.
I've been get an excellent working relationship with my boss. I mean, I think say that he even moved me from deputy minister to minister and then to chief of staff. Just go for show, say, I believe say he also get tremendous confidence in me. And be enjoy to work with them. I like him in the first instance, and I've been respect him. I've been believe in vision for Sierra Leone, and I've been see myself opportune and privileged for be a part of the team where they help us execute that vision there.
Okay. So when many go, some set of Sierra Leoneans go say, oh, not accomplish much, or they have the other sets where not able to get that opportunity for work directly with him, like how you been fortunate for get that opportunity. How you they feel when you can hear that when they gets all the different feeling about him as an individual or about him as a head of state?
Well, it depends on the yardstick where they use for measure. Unfortunately, the saloon man, they forget quick. Me go want for look at Wusai President Koroma meet salon and Wusai he left salon. That is not to suggest that some things could not have been done better. That is not to suggest that what he consider as in priorities that the only priorities. But I believe say under the prevailing circumstances, energy, roads, water supply have been key priorities where he embark on. And on top of that, he also work on education, work on agriculture, work on human development, and the overall issues around governance and institutional capacity building and the fight against corruption. So when I look at all of those things put together, when I look at how Wilkinson Road been there, how Beach Road been there, how will they take 2 days for go Guinea and back, how will they take 8 hours for go Bo and back, how Spur Road there now, how Hillside Bypass Road there now. When I think about all of those things, I think of the fact say Sierra Leone will be the darkest country in the world. We inherit less than 10 megawatts of power. By the time we left, we get over 200 megawatts of power. When I realized, say, when we come into power 2007, no tongue that the country not been get water supply apart from the small power they side Freetown. By the time they left, almost all district towns get something toward will look like water supply. When I look at how the health system been there now the country, the term 2007, and the number of health facilities, the number of beds, where we increase significantly, and the number of medical personnel who bring into the system. When we put all of those things together, I think say he achieved a lot under the prevailing circumstances. And I think say he deserves more credit than in critics that they give.
Thank you, sir. So if you can weigh the pros and the con, or the achievement or what was not able to achieve, where even get intention for achieve, whose percentage range will you go give in terms of the two from the very first term to his second term in office up to the point where he left?
I think say in first term, I go rate him about 70 to 80%. The second term, slightly lower. But overall, I think say he do well. You know, it's very easy for make your percentage rating look very high at the beginning, where they go from near zero. Any small thing where you do it show clearly. But after 5 years
Right.
of sustained development, then the second 5 years, you know they see much again because we take that for granted. Issue of roads were not taken for granted. Issue of light was not taken for granted. Issue of water was not taken for granted. Issue of health facilities was not taken for granted. And I believe, say, now those types of improvements really will happen over time. Now, I make even when catastrophe strike, Sierra Leoneans able endure and overcome. I think say if the building blocks for that type of sustained development not be don't take place, when Ebola strike, for example, that would have been it. But at least the rudiments, basic rudiments for able response today. So with the support of the international community, we'll be able for quickly bring a turnaround when we're able to contain the disease within the shortest possible time. I think he deserve credit for that.
So based on your percentage or your assessment given from his first term to his second term, and you bring in the catastrophe way happen, I get a tongue twister, excuse me, guys. So basically, do you think that have any influence on the percentage we get for in second term with all the calamity we in our face or the trials them we in our face, as you name some of the Ebola and that type of
Precisely.
things we.
Those factors then contribute, but over and above that, I'll say when certain things don't they happen, it's very easy for me to take them for granted. Now we already see again the marked difference in terms of additional improvements that will take place. Because the worst areas like the road to Guinea, the major street inside Freetown, they be done fix. Water be done can, light be done can. So now just additional things that be happy. So we need to see them too openly. And then the second term, when the 10 disaster strike, we get the mudslide, we get the Ebola, plus all the other things that will happen. But again, one of the reasons why I really commend in first term because it came into the office at a time when the global economic crisis been there, when there was recession all over, including even here in America. But that in those difficult times, we're able to weather the storm and we're able to come out of it. And by the time the Ebola, the strike, we get one of the highest economic growth rates per capita growth rates in the sub-region. I think it's very commendable.
Wonderful, thank you. So many go also wonder, you basically speak highly of your working relationship with the then president, former His Excellency Dr. Ines Baikoma, and you also give credit in terms of the efforts we make as to where he meets Sierra Leone and the roles that we play for able to accomplish some of the goals that we don't set forth. Then many go also want curious as to what's been cause or the reason why it been decided to say it will sack you during that during your administration.
Well, you know, when presidents they appoint person that they say it has pleased His Excellency to appoint. So where it is sack itself, it is pleased her for sack. Now rights and prerogative. But I can always tell people and say when somebody be president, they in a very delicate situation. If you're surrounded by bad people, where they always bring bad advice na yes. it takes the grace of God for sparing. I don't personally there in a room on a number of occasions where are the hearing people there. They can't present certain scenarios. You would think say the world is doing this now. Only for make you go do your research later and find out say no iota of truth, no day in that in those issues. But then the president na mortal man. If every day they can't hammer the same thing against this one great person, the same thing, the same thing, the same thing, the same thing, it might get to the point where you could begin one for belief, even if you don't want belief. With time, you go one for belief. And sometimes you can do something we not very correct. I want to believe that happened. But one good thing is that it also offers them the opportunity to prove their points. The negative view they behold about Richard, they had the opportunity to prove it right or wrong. At the end of the day, I think they establish for say Richard is not waiting and think. But you know why that it happen? Some people like if you waited them before you. If not they been there in the position where you did, the type of position where the relationship I've been get with my president, where we they talk on a personal basis, we they communicate, and they discuss anything and everything with them. Instead they discuss anything and everything with me. We got to do with how we go move the country before. We had a very good relationship. Somebody who thinks that in that type of situation, then you can do things for benefit yourself personally at the expense of government. Now that's there before do. So they assume say Richard self, now that they do. So they feeling it belongs for me. But I think say reality don't go on to say Richard is not what you think. I'm not a saint, but to the best of my ability, I try for do things where I believe say it right and where I get a clear conscience for say I do things in the interest of my country.
Wonderful. Thank you. I want you also take this opportunity for Claire to hear about the aid that was given to Sierra Leone through the government of Japan.
Yeah, thank you very much, Khadija. During the time where I been served as Minister of Trade, the government of Japan gave me 2 packages of aid. The first one, Nare. They give you a consignment of rice. This rice, they send them straight to Winner Salon and they ask me for sell them and use the money for whatever purpose we choose for use them. When this rice come, the expectation was that when we sell them, the projection was that we will raise about 6.5 billion. That was the targeted price of raise. But by the time we complete the procurement process and finish for sale the rest, we'll be raised about 7.1 billion. And that is why the Japanese, the way they can do the assessment in 2016, they rate me 107% for the rice. The second one, now fuel. When they send the fuel, they not send the fuel straight to Winner Sierra Leone make we seller. They recruit a procurement agent na England, when a Crown Agent UK. Now then give the responsibility for sell this fuel on behalf of government and give the money to Sierra Leone. When Crown Agent do the first procurement process, when they conclude and they send the report to me before then they award the contract to the party where win the bid, I found out that instead of the $11 million where I expect, now only about $9 million now I before receive. Then the government before receive. When I receive this report, now I go meet my boss. Now I say, sir, I say that this don't happen. I say, but me, I'm not satisfied with this process. I say, one, government was not involved in this process. So I know how transparent this process could have been. Secondly, they say that one person no more. Now, thirdly, they're not advertising us alone. So I'm not sure how they do this whole procurement process where we can lose $2 million. I said, so by me, I want to terminate. They say, hey, you allowed for terminate? I said, yes, sir. I said, I don't read the exchange of notes. And they tell me so, for until as long as they know formally award the contract yet, I get the authority of the minister for terminating the contract. This is, I want to terminate. I say, okay, go ahead and terminate. So go ahead and terminate the contract and propose to them maybe relaunch the tender process. But this time, I say we go send we own representative to go there and that's therefore advertised inside freedom. Make the oil marketing from the in a salon, make them take advantage of it. So nominate me director of the petroleum unit, Van Mason, na Ingo, na England, for represent government in the procurement process in England. And then I insist for make the advertised inside Sierra Leone in the local newspapers. When they do it turn out say, not only NP and Total that they bid to make them receive and sell the fuel. When they do the procurement process in England, now NP end of the week. When NP win, the projected amount will be supposed for collect now only 46 billion, but at the end of the procurement process, who don't sell down, we realize 47 point something billion. Again, the Japanese in 2016, 2 years after they left government, where they can do the evaluation of the ministry and the handling of the aid where they come from Japan, they rated 106%, which means perform beyond the expectation. But this is just the bit about how the oil come, it converts to money and the lodger. And in the way governments they work, this money are all go into an account where the accountant general open Bank of Corona, an escrow account, an account dedicated to that purpose. And the Ministry of Trade, nor the able access is dying from that account without the approval of the Ministry of Finance. They are the only authority for that. So when we don't get this money, the next step was, what do we do? In the exchange of notes between the government of Japan and the government of Sierra Leone, there's a process where we follow for access to those funds. First of all, in the exchange of notes, it's clear that the Japanese are only interested in us accounting for 50% of the money. So which means 11 million, we only obliged to account for 5.5 million equivalent in leons. That's the first slide. But that no means say the other 50% you take a year. It just means say the other 50%, they no need for know how you use them. But the government within your own system will decide on how they want for use them. So as Minister of Trade and Industry, I go in a cabinet. I say this grant don't come. Now we want they don't ask can agent for sell the oil for we. Can agent don't sell, now NP don't win. The money this way we get. But me, I want to suggest, say, let we use this money for set up an SME fund with 12 billion leons for build the Linton market with about 7 billion, and for we build the peace market with about 3 point something billion, and then for complete the silver grounds market about 2.5 billion, and then for GI money for let we able to implement the local content policy where we've been just done enact, and also money for make we continue with doing business reforms. We will be try for improve the investment climate in Sierra Leone. And I should say when I know say in end of 2011, when the Minister of Trade, Sierra Leone was ranked the most improved country in Africa in terms of ease of doing business. In fact, we can sixth in the whole world for ease of doing business, improvement in that sector. So that this cabinet approved. But even though we don't get cabinet approval, are not allowed for still proceed for use that money there without convening a steering committee. Because on the steering committee, the Japanese government self, they send the UN representatives. So they send 2 people from Ghana. We convene the steering committee. The steering committee approve, waiting cabinet don't approve. And so that now give the full, makes it now within full compliance with the exchange of notes and also with your internal governance procedures. After that approval, then now we proceed now for tender for the markets. And when we finish the process, now I write again to President to seek executive approval for instruct finance for release the 12 billion to Sierra Leone Commercial Bank and release the part payment to the contractors there for the markets, and also release the money for the doing business reforms and the local content policy implementation. But since we've been getting for 12 billion to Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, we decided to enter into a separate memorandum of understanding for protect the ministry and for protect myself as minister and for protect the money. Because government not to the best person for trust people there. They don't go pay. But the bank that they own job and they for trust money out. So we go now commercial bank, sign an MOU and then take responsibility for administer this fund on behalf of government and commit, say, whenever government want the money, they will give back the money to government. Because they so we do them. But then we realize, say, it's not enough for just take traders, business people, and give them loan without them not building capacity. So I go to IFC. I go talk to them and to make them come in with additional support or train all the beneficiaries there. The IFC accept, then come, then do it. And it was a novel. And everybody was very happy with it. We do it in 2012. So we implement the SME fund. And in fact, later on, after I don't left the ministry, government even increased the money. They add another 4 billion to the fund for continue for assist people them. When I been the minister, the construction of the markets then be commenced, and then the implementation of the local content policy and the doing business reforms will continue. And then of course they also continue with the work on the server grounds market. So then I move on to the State House as Chief of Staff, and then me Busuboy take over as Minister of Trade and Industry. So that is it about the money. But to me, greatest surprise, even though the issue be already come at the COI, and we have to explain. One day I did in the office, I just get a call from ATC, say, the one I can clarify small issue no more. You know, go to I just short discussion no more on this thing. I say, hey, boy, I'm not going to wait. I go to then we will not agree. It's have to go. Anyway, I end up for go. As soon as I reach, I sit down, they say they're under arrest. It took 4 days. They're under arrest. After the 4 days, then grant me bail without any. We will continue the investigation first. But these are the facts of the matter.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for taking your time for make clarity on all that. And I want also to make one more clarity. So even though the word aid was used, actually then rice and they were sent for in a sell them, correct?
Yes.
For some people, they will get confused.
Yes.
So, okay, so that was the instruction given to
aid to the government of Sierra Leone, but a commodity aid.
Okay.
Not to cash aid. Because at the end, people talk as if me go to Japan, and then go take the $11 million, they load that suitcase there, now then give me private jets, now fly, I can't afford with the money. Why can't I what's you where you find for look? I say, okay, like you saw, I say, okay, we'll hold $500,000, you find. I look at the person, oh, you know, you the whole $1 million. That's not how government works. Government simply does not work like that. Country where they give aid to salon, they know they get to person. Understand?
Okay.
It goes straight to the Ministry of Finance and it goes straight to the Bank of Sierra Leone. That's how it works. And then following our own internal financial procedures, then you will able to access them and utilize them for approved projects only. You not get that power authority as minister for just deal with money anyhow. It's not possible.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for making that clarity. And also, you also get the opportunity for work with Dr. Wilson, Dr. Matthew Wilson Kamara, correct?
Oh yes, I've been the boss for 2 years, the Minister of Finance.
Wonderful. Yes. How you go describe her as an individual or as you former boss as well?
I think so that also somebody will get a lot of respect for. I remember the first day where he come report for duty. I go meet her at the office. I say, Doc, I say, I know say me na you deputy minister. I say, but do ya? And now make you treat me like you deputy minister. Treat me like your younger brother. I may you groom me. I may you train me. Because me say one time like you. Those are my exact words to him. Because you know, he come with a lot of big name. You know, he done there within that Ministry of Finance circles for over 25 years. And he done also, before the candidate, he done there in the IMF, and he get very familiar with the World Bank. So when it comes to, and of course, Commonwealth, all around financial issues, and even before that, within a Bank of Salon. So when it comes to financial issues, when it comes to economic issues and those things, I believe, say, now one of the leading people there in that area, like Sierra Leone, he don't spend so much time. So me said, well, learn from her because me not an economist, and I've been get knowledge, say, me not an economist, and therefore I've been get limitations. So I go for learn. Although, of course, Christine Lagarde, a lawyer, will end up be the managing director for the IMF. And also now I think say they can be the head of the European Central Bank. Not a lawyer, not an economist. So you not need for be an economist for handle Gordon Brown, one of the best finance ministers in England, a historian. It's all an issue of how you apply yourself. And so I was willing to learn from Dr. Tamura Kamara and for make myself able to understand it. So in those 3 years where I did at the Ministry of Finance, I tried for learn. The directors then go tell you, so whenever an issue comes, they call the director there. When are they come to me in the office, I told them, I can't teach me. This thing I not sabi, I don't understand. They explain to me, teach me, give me bullet points. We myself take an out with my small experience where I get. We myself they go meet me copy themselves where I pass small. The fish are sabi. But I'll be willing. I'll be willing for learn, and I think say my humility, my acknowledgement of the limitations make I learn a lot. And now I can confidently say I can handle financial issues with ease.
Yes. And Miss F1 commend you in terms of your humility, your persona, because through the grace of God, I come across a lot of people, them, whether you want to consider them grassroots, middle class, you name it. But just the interaction, you're able to know a person. So with that said, people then go curious as to, for a man who don't get so much achievement in life, don't hold so many prestige position, how you come about forget such humble persona or humility, waiting at the blessing behind that. So where did you learn that from, or is it from your family background? Maybe you shed a light.
Now with Christian upbringing, then bring we up inside the church, the Wesleyan church, and then teach we humility. My parents, them are very humble and down to earth people. The only thing no more is that my daddy didn't take nonsense. As humble as he was, as down to earth as he was, if you step on his foot, it hit back. And I think say I get small of that trait there. I appear very cool, calm, and whatever, but when I need for make a point, I can rise to the occasion. So I think say I borrow a lot from me daddy. And I tell God thank you for that. And I borrow a lot from the Christian upbringing inside the Wesleyan Church. And so then bring you up from Good News Club to youth group to young adults to men's fellowship. That is the upbringing. We are a small, neat family in the Wesleyan Church. And I that the relationship where I share with President Kuroma in Sefna Wesleyan. And we parents then they work together in the Wesleyan Church. So we can meet up in governance. I tell God thank you for that. I learned a lot from himself. And I think humility and where me go admonish and advise everybody to be humble. And the Bible is very clear on that also.
Great. So let's go back a little bit with Dr. Matthew Wilson Kamara, we happen to be one of the very few we don't serve in, we'll say in all governance, if one puts on that way there. And you also happen for being deputy at some point. When we look at inflation at the present time, some will still want make reference to the previous administration, which you also serve. What's your take on that? Some will say Dr. Matthew Wilson did not do too much. Some will say he did his very best when you compare with currency then and now. So what's going to be your take on that?
I think he do a lot better with they happen now. The economy be a bit more stable during the administration than what it be now.
Okay. So now we go now to the most recent incident with constituency 110. Take we to that day. What you witness?
Constituency 110 now a very good example of an attempt for undermine democracy, rule of law, and good governance in Sierra Leone. Constituency 110 now a very good example of a deliberate attempt by NEC for derail years of development in terms of we democratic credentials as a country. Clearly, in the run-up to the election, the APC party suffered a lot of humiliation, a lot of harassment, a lot of intimidation. They arrest the people then lock them up for over 1 month until after the election before they grant them bail. We see on polling day where then they intimidate voters, then they bribe voters, but the party will remain calm, we remain focused, we train the polling agents, and we succeed. For me, not what it happen outside the polling station, but inside the polling stations, we make sure things we are well structured, well organized. Everything went well. Right until about 30 minutes to the close of poll, where the FLPP talks then go decide for damage the whole polling center. We've been get about 10 statements. That was unfortunate. And then, of course, waiting, we've been the expect from NEC. Now, for just cancel that center and announce the results because they had over 93% of the results in. And they already did it, and APC was winning. They don't even get for county elections. And besides, the commission not get power there. The national elections are not given that power. The constitution not given that power. So we don't know which side it derive that authority there for cancel a whole election. According to the National Elections Act and according to the Constitution, only a high court now able for declare whole election void. We don't get that power there. So that he do that type of thing there, it's terrible. Secondly, the cost for conducting election, for government, and for the political parties, and for the aspirants, and for their supporters, is huge. I mean, if you don't think about all of these factors, plus the fact is, not to APC cause the fault. All man know that caused the fault. It was clear. It was well documented. All man know say APC not take any violence. We not respond in like manner to the violence. So ideally, They don't get any reason to make APC be the victim and then be the one who will suffer. After we don't be the victim, they don't beat we, they don't molest we, they don't intimidate we, they don't lock we up, and then we win election again, they cancel again. And I know that the way to be the double jeopardy that day. It's not supposed to happen. But we hope say sanity go better, and we hope say they go indeed to hold the results. We know say in a ward election are coming, then cancel stations, they still announce the result in October. So why in a whole constituency, just 10 out of 45 stations, the results don't do? And in terms of numbers, 93.something% of the results were already in. For less than 7%, they go cancel the whole election, subject the whole country to another big loss with all the attendant consequences. It just not make sense. So we hope sanity will eventually prevail and the right thing will be done.
Thank you. Since the incident, you get any idea of anyone hold account for the behavior where they do that day?
They are not aware of any person on the side of the SLPP where they arrest or even invite or can explain, even though the evidence was very clear. Now we own APC people the way they be arrested, and then still they go court. And then still the intimidation will continue.
How do you feel about selective justice, and what do you think how that's they play right now in the Republic of Sierra Leone?
I feel very bad. I feel very disappointed, and I feel Sierra Leone for don't go far beyond this. And I want to appeal to the government. Unfortunately, that they in power, and that they're able to do something about it. So now they're no more we get for us when they do the right thing. I think we don't come people. People they don't shed blood. Forget we to which side we do so. Countries they don't shed blood. Forget to which side we do so. They don't spend millions and millions of dollars. Forget to which side we do so. We don't lose a lot in terms of human and financial capital. Forget to which side we do so. Make them not take me back to those bad days we know you want to remember. All come to the government is that Naduya, let we retrace the steps in the best interest of Sierra Leone. This country is too small for make we. And the worry is that if this trend continues, then the future of the country very good. The things that really happen, apart from being violent in elections and those types of things, apart from the injustices in the court system, administrative justice, where me and you go to court, they handle your own case, me and they push her aside. I mean, we undermine the very structures we support for defense. You go to parliament, you not get any guarantee. They impose a speaker on the majority in parliament. It's not done. Then they pass bills there clearly in contravention of the standing orders of parliament. It's not done. You go to the judiciary, they handle SLPP their case there, they handle APC case there. It's not done. They openly go against the opposition. It's not done. I think that's not bad enough. They go to offices, I see in one office one day, then they issue sack letter there, as if they issue report, principal they issue report card. On one day, 257 young men and women where they don't apply, they don't get their jobs. Some man just don't marry, some man just don't born to king, some man get independence. They have up on this job for survive. You can't work in the morning, they'll call you, then give you letter. Ebo, and the only crime you commit is that you come on at the north, or you come on at the western area, or you belong to this tribe or that tribe. Ebo, is that not a requirement, a qualification, a criterion for qualification for any position. You know, this would set a very bad precedent. And in order to begin tomorrow. So I believe say, well Sierra Leone for be concerned on both today it will for you. Not means it will for you forever. The table get for turn one day. And the day of reckoning get for come one day. And you not go there on the winning side. And only God knows what will happen when that day come. So let we all try and work together. Would get influence inside the government? Make use them. Me, my friends already say, all they call them. And they want to say, hey, una left. Hey, una left, una talk. And me say, I don't go on radio, I don't go on television, I don't talk. I had a talk, I don't talk on television, I free talk. I say, hey, this year I not go for Bollywood picking tomorrow. Una left will left. You cannot govern by coercion. It will not work. You cannot govern that country along northwest, southeast lines. It will not work. You cannot govern that country with one tribe. It will not work. It is not sustainable. And in fact, the only thing, then just jeopardize that region and that tribe for the future. And not very helpful. And any well-meaning union for sure concern. This is not, for me, this is not politics. I did address this issue as a Sierra Leonean, and I'm concerned. And I did beg the powers that be, Unadria, let we change. Salona is a small country. Salona is the only country where we get. Let we remember this country, we all get a responsibility for living harmony.
Honorable, I want to say repeat that again. It seemed like you would go in and out. If you can come closer and increase your volume and repeat what you've been just to say, yeah? I may miss some of you. Yes.
Okay, this now a situation where we as Sierra Leoneans for get a shared responsibility and commitment for ensure say this can't not continue. These are the only country where we get. These are the only country where we call we own country. Let we not sit down and allow this country for be divided right in the middle. If that happens, the repercussion for the future is not going to be. So when I do here, let me all set. Everywhere minister, me, I don't call all my friends there in the SLPP. I they warn them. I say, hey, una not set more. Una talk. Una talk. Let you talk now, they know you but talk. This culture of silence, if I stop, I don't go to radio now alone, I don't go to television alone, I don't talk this. And they talk again, I made the whole world hear. Una let we stop. Let we all remember, say, today it is dead. Tomorrow it might be.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. You get any idea of what will take place with the rally, the APC rally?
No, but I know say
okay.
There was a lot of intimidation and threats to the extent that they say they not get clearance for the demonstration. So I understand say the one that will be planned for demonstrate no end up for demonstrate in the numbers with everyone for do. But I understand say some businesses they're not open on that day and those types of things, and a few arrests were made here and there based upon the WhatsApp results. But I don't think say the demonstration being come out in the way the one that will be wanted possibly be want to make it happen.
Okay. So when what do you go say to the set of Sierra Leoneans where believe say APC then are responsible for some of the violence or the instability? How you go respond to them people then they?
May they provide the evidence for choosing our APC. Then at that point, we will also provide the evidence for show how violent SLPP be. But I think say this trading of accusations or blame, it not help anybody. Let's just do the right thing and move on. Retributive justice, not a help. Let's assume say 2023 SLPP loss. and then APC decide for do what SLP to do so that for APC. You know the born good picking. So I think we just have to get to the point where they say enough is enough, and then we retrace with steps and also
Yeah, they hear you, sir. They hear me?
yes.
Okay. So now we talk about basic commodity and the slogan within at the ground dry. From your point of view, how dry the ground be?
I think say the prices then they go up by the day. The fuel price they go up. The commodity prices are generally they go up by the day. The dollar they appreciate by the day over the leon, and the salaries of people in the for pay for the daily existence because the money don't lost in value by over 30-40%, and that is very serious. When APC be the handover 7,000 to the dollar, now it's over 10,000. It's very, very serious. And there's no indication that they don't do anything for bring the thing under control and for check that rate of devaluation of the currency. And that's worrisome. That's worrisome.
Okay. So now we go to the peace talk we recently happened. Many believe that if the sitting president was to work with the main opposition, the All People's Congress, so many things will be accomplished due to the experience or the expertise of the, prior government position and way some of in a hold and are able for help the current administration, while some think the other way around. What's in your take on that? It's a two-part question. One with the peace talk, if you say,
I don't know what
can you hear me, sir?
I don't know what you mean by working with the other government. I think say
No,
if you go
meaning that if the if the current president meets with, let's say, the former cabinet members, them or the former president, basically for say, hey, pa, if help me in this area, like how you been saying certain things, say we need to know everything, every day I learning process. Certain things that we, if you say you're not being comfortable with 100%, because of the experience of Dr. Matthew Wilson Kamara, you were humble enough for go to and say, now you make sure say you know what you do for now you go execute your job to your very best of your ability. So if in that regard, if like the sitting president makes such attempt as well, and some of the cabinet member maybe reach out to the finance minister or the deputy finance minister, say, okay, well, how you been doing? How we go able for help for tackle this inflation? Do you think that would be a successful attempt from the current administration for reach out to the previous administration?
Me not think it's a personnel issue. Finance, for example, are the same suspects than they did. Dingy was director of budget. He's now deputy financial secretary, principal deputy financial secretary. The current financial secretary was director of budget. Now the same suspects than they did, with very few changes where they take place there. If you go and analyze it, they're the same suspects than they did, with very few changes. In fact, the same person will be there as deputy director and managing director now. They're the same suspects than they did. You go now and the same people there. Then just change the top. But the same commissioners, now they did it. So I don't think say now a personnel issue per se. I believe say now just the frame of mind where people have come into villaged for be part with President Kuruma in actually Namibia coordinates the whole transition.
Honorable, Can you repeat that? I think say you been get interruption, so we miss out what you been say. And we left off where you say you don't believe in a personnel problem, but rather go from there, sir.
I say I not believe say a personnel issue. I believe say an attitude issue. The mindset with which they come into governance. That's not the problem. I say we still get the same suspects in our finance. They're all they That will not change. Now just and even JJ Safa, if they get consultants, is the in and out, now Minister of Finance. So not a total stranger. They're the same suspects than they did. Even the Deputy Finance Minister, where it be then our ADB, will be the work together. I remember where if we launch the pay no bribe campaign, that they become from the ADB. So you're not too strange, so they know the issues. In NASIT, they're the same suspects than they did. Now somebody they just take from director or deputy director or the baker managing director. In NASIT, they're just the boss man and then bring up. But even in Jibao, if you don't work na NRA before, so nothing new. I don't think it's a personnel issue. Now the mindset where they carry into governance and the preconceived notions where they carry and where they use that for inform how do they go about things. See, now that they need for work on. They need for calm down a bit, and begin. And I think say we for example, Sambadin, excellent man, decent man. I get tremendous respect for him. We meet and let me be FS for Pakaba. What's away? Samura did at the ministry from NPRC days to Pakaba. When we come, we retain them. In all the most of the offices, we not drive away people. People kept their offices. Of course, now we know say that they try for undermine we, but I believe say because the intention will be good or be mean well for the country, they not succeed. We still able to achieve something, But maybe they feel say what Debbie they do now we they do. No, me personally, I don't get any reason why I for undermine this government. In fact, my prayer is that they succeed. Because when they succeed, the Parliament will be better. When they fail, the Parliament will suffer. And I don't want to make any Parliament suffer under my watch. So I'll pray for them. As a Christian, would they pray for them? The church, would they pray for them? In the private home, would they pray for them? May God help them. May they do the right thing and move the country before. And that's the me appeal to them. I make that to you. When I just cool down, when I just face the reality. We are in necessary for consult. Some of us are just a telephone call away. I believe, say, if they get any doubt, then call Samura. If they get any doubt, then call Modu Kabo. He will explain. Then get any doubt, then call Kefala Mara. He will explain. We are all interested in this country moving forward. And we're ready for do everything possible for make Sierra become a better place. Now we all a country we get to. And we just get for work together. We don't get choice. We don't get choice. We just get to work together. This now just for a short while, they go tired just now. And reality go down on them. I all hope they will not be too late by the time the reality get for done on them.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So I wanted you to take this opportunity before I open the line, and if anybody gets question, I will make them very brief, so I don't go only too long. Anybody get question for Honorable Doc? In our welcome for call at 908-342-8176. But while we did wait for any call for come in, as I did try to let you go soon, I also want now you take this opportunity for now you speak to the youth and as well as all Sierra Leonean, what will be your message to them or your advice?
My message to all Sierra Leoneans is a message of unity. Me, they present myself as a unifier. Sierra Leone, we all now one. We all interrelated one way or the other. We might have been hurt in different ways over the years, but make that hurt not make we lose sight of the reality say we are brothers and we are sisters and we get to live together. So wherever we find ourselves in the political divide, wherever we find ourselves, either in the diaspora or back home in Sierra Leone, let we just know say it takes all of us working together for a better Sierra Leone. And that is my mission. That is what I'm determined to do. And I will stop at nothing to help this country achieve that.
Thank you so much, sir. I did just give another maybe 2 minutes for see if anyone want call. If not, then I think say we will call and quit today. And I want to tell you plenty thank you. So I will just wait for another 1 minute or so if I get any call. If not, then I would allow you for say another closing statement before I let you for go. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.
So if anybody want to call again, I give 2 minutes. The number na 908-342 na a WhatsApp number 908-342-8176. If you not get any call, then we go call and quit for the day. Thank you again, Doc, for your time.
Yeah. I read some comments where people send na Facebook on the screen, and I think
okay. So you want to read some of the comments, eh?
This is not exactly
okay,
the
no
problem. This is not exactly the problem. Everything will happen at APC responsible. Please, SLPP, grow up. You are now in governance. You have taken over governance. Govern. Stop referring to APC. Okay, we were bad. We were terrible. We messed up, but we didn't mess up as badly as you are doing now. Please govern, grow up, mature, rule this country, and take us to paradise. That is what we elected you for. We elected you for change. Bring about the positive thing. That is what we want from you. Stop the blame game. Enough of saying everything APC. They say even that road way comes APC. Even the results say that APC. Everything at APC. Own up. That's leadership. That's responsibility. Own up. And you can move forward. And this country will be blessed.
Thank you so much for your time. I don't believe say any call come through. So now give you this time again for now you make a last statement, sir, before I call it quits. Before
Thank you very much, Khadija, for this opportunity where you give me for respond to some of these issues. I'm really happy and I want to appreciate your effort for try for enlighten with brothers and sisters, especially the one that we did in the diaspora, make we understand some of these issues. Are available anytime where you need me for come up and clarify any issues, I will be ready. I want for appeal to all Sierra Leoneans, especially the young one there, for say the future of the country is in our hand. But that future starts now, not tomorrow. And we all therefore rise up in one accord and say Sierra Leone for better. And we all for play a part for make it better. Regardless of tribe, regardless of region, regardless of whatever political affiliation you get. Let me know say we have one Sierra Leone. And it behoves all of us working together for he will bring about the positive development which Sierra Leone needs so badly. May God help we all. May God make we all live for see a better Sierra Leone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doc. Once again, I want to take this opportunity for extend sincere appreciation for where you take time out of your very hectic schedule for respond to the invitation. I also want to tell you plenty thank you where you will echo over and over the importance of national cohesion, and you believe that every Sierra Leonean responsibility now for now we come together for now we bring about a better Mama Salon. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you and God bless your family.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay, sir. I'll let you go now, sir.
Okay.
Fellow Sierra Leonean, that take we to the end of today's interview. I want to tell you plenty thank you for in a time with Mohammed, and then I will get a closing statement. somebody is quest for coming, so I try to bring the person in.
Yeah.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sise. Welcome, welcome. As you say, you send a request, so I want to honor your request before me say call and quit.
Yeah.
While you welcome.
Well, I don't get much for say because Mr. The battle say it all. I just want continue for encourage you. For you wonderful work where they do, where they able for access their personality they are, where they able come for clear the ear and for enlighten some of we way still lay in a limbo, won't able understand what's in the happen. Because the present government is just permeated with a lot of propaganda, all incident. But I really just want to give a kudos. I want to congratulate you. I want to make say we accept, we appreciate you. You don't do a lot of good favor for we. For able count them personalities and as we own reach, no able listen from the raw fact, on sense of fact from the person himself. So I hope say this meeting today don't shed light on a lot of controversies, a lot of propaganda where they go on. I believe say the man he don't do a great job. I don't get much for say anyway that but all what I get for say for congratulate you for your efforts and your uniqueness where carry this blessing where you don't give me but they will shed light on most important issues then. And that's not my get for say. I'm not get for say much.
Mr. One, take the opportunity for say plenty, plenty. Thank you. We're all in it together, and we do this for the love of Salon. I
Yeah.
want to tell you plenty, plenty. Thank you for your endless support, for your time we can take for doing share material and every type of support we give for being the critical thinking show.
Oh, you're always welcome, my dear. You're always welcome. Yeah. That's all I
So
have to say. You're a blessing to us. That's
yeah, likewise,
yeah. Thank you very
likewise.
much.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Good job.
Thank you. Okay, so let me see if we get anybody else we want to come. Then from there now, I will call it quits. And I thank you, thank you for in a time. I think one more person they want to come. All right, Miss Vivian, I try to bring you on, accept you. Um, Mr. Hill, I read your comment. You say, I hope you extend the same privilege to government official. Miss Fabian, 1 second. For make very clear, when I invite people on this platform, if this is not your first time, I want to say I invite them because they are Sierra Leonean. I do not look at their political affiliation. But for answer you question, I have made several attempts for bring with current governmental officials them, and anybody will respond to the invitation, you will definitely see them here, hopefully very soon. Yeah. So we not get any this critical thinking talk show platform, not biased to anybody, they look for any specific political party, or anybody will accept and respect and honor the invitation, they will be here. And everybody is treated equal, and everybody gets a voice under this platform, as long as it's not done where there's disrespect or attack or violence, we will not condone that. So I hope say I don't answer your question. Miss Vivian, welcome, madam. As you say, you want to come in, so I give you the opportunity. The floor is yours. Take this opportunity for introduce yourself and welcome, madam. Mm-hmm. You there, me? Miss Vivian, you there, me? Uh-oh. In device down. In device down. Freeze. Okay. With that said, I get ready for another telling a plenty thank you. After God, there's no critical thinking talk show without Ina. And I do believe in constructive criticism because it helped for mold me to the woman that I am today. And like I say, you are welcome to even disagree with me as the host, as long as it's do so in a peaceful manner, wherein there's no attack, name calling, or any form of gesture we go suggest violence. The platform is open for everybody. Once again, I want to take this opportunity for tell Honorable Dr. Richard Conteh plenty thank you where you make time out of a hectic schedule for partake in today critical thinking talk show and answer to relevant questions them we have to do with we beloved Mama Salon. I also want to take this opportunity again, once again, for telling her all plenty thank you. Okay, Mr. Bakawan come in. Now, on a inception request. Hello, Mr. Bangura.
Hello. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I mean, just one call and it's now see request back.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
go ahead.
Hold on, give me a minute here. Sorry.
No
Okay.
problem.
Yeah, sorry. Can
Yes, sir.
you hint me again? What are the topic again? Sorry. I see.
So I've been today actually interview Dr. Richard Conteh, but I just don't complete the interview.
Okay.
And so, I mean, basically open the phone line, but nobody no call. So I mean, they do me closing remarks. I don't know if you get the opportunity for listening to the entire interview. So
No,
I've
I
been
did
careful
not.
asking.
I
Oh, you
didn't. I
did
mean, go
not.
back and forth. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Basically try for clear the hair of some of the how you call them allegation that we've been there out there. So
Okay.
I hope say when this comes to an end, you go get the opportunity for go back and basically
Okay.
get your side of the story. Yes. Well, if you want to add anything to or advice, any kind of advice to we as Sierra Leonean, you can welcome to do so before I call it quits. Because I try to
Yeah.
get ready for second interview with Mr. Jesmith Suma.
Okay, definitely. Me advice and my contribution, as I can always say, I mean, I peace, love in Sierra Leoneans. I care about Sierra Leone so much. And I want to unite our Sierra Leoneans, let we care for build up this country, let bring peace and stability. Now the country, as I said, we don't go way backward, the civil war and everything. It don't destroy so many things that we're able to get nothing from that. Like this last election happened so yesterday, I don't call the results, which was I mean it wasn't peaceful at first, but at least without win they get what you call without winning win. So you understand it. So that's how the love going to continue and the love get peace and stability at the country. And as I said, we are all Sierra Leoneans, so the love will come together and build this country, regardless of tribe or which party you belong and everything. Sierra Leone, we all young. And I will really like for let we move this country forward so that the next generation will be able to enjoy the country, and I'll say now we get for build up and for the future generation we get for come.
Absolutely. Strongly agree. Thank you so much for your time and where you joined. So I
Thank
come
you.
section for now prepare for Mr. Jesmith Suma. Thank you
Okay,
again, Mr. Ban.
okay, no problem. Thank you, Madam Khadija. Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
All right, fellow Sierra Leoneans, that calls it to the end of this session as we prepare for Mr. Jesmith Suma. And once again, I have plenty at the Republic of Sierra Leone. Bye. Until next time, this is not a critical thinking talk show within a host, Khadija Tijan Nabi.